Chemistry. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is a science that describes the physical properties, composition, structure, and reactions of matter. But let us focus ourselves on the atom. Let me tell you a brief history about the atomic theory. This image is a popular icon of the atom, but it only vaguely represents our current model of what the atom looks like. First, we're going to travel back a little over 2,000 years ago. Democritus, a Greek philosopher, coined the word atomos, which means not to be cut. He also believed that atoms are tiny indivisible particles, infinite in number and continuously moving. Also, Aristotle, another Greek philosopher, he favored the earth, water, fire, and air approach in the nature of matter together with Plato. But their theory was burned approximately 2,000 years ago. It wasn't until around 2,000 years later in the early 1800s when John Dalton came along and he believed that all elements are composed of atoms. In his billiard ball model, he also stated that all atoms of the same elements will be exactly the same and that atoms of different elements can combine to form compounds. Now let's fast forward on the late 1800s when J.J. Thomson discovered the electron. He discovered that an atom is made of even more smaller particles. Thomson studied the passage of an electric current through a gas. He called it the cathode ray tube experiment. From this, he decided that these particles came from somewhere within the atom, and that Dalton is correct in stating that atom cannot be divided into smaller pieces. This became known as the plum-pudding model of an atom. Atoms were made from a positively charged substance with negatively charged electrons scattered about like raisins in a pudding. Later on, here comes Ernest Rutherford. He believed that atoms are mostly made up of empty spaces. He developed the planetary model of the atom, which put all the protons in the nucleus and the electrons orbited around the nucleus like planets around the sun. Rutherford conducted a gold foil experiment. He concluded that an atom had a small, dense, positively charged center that repelled his positively charged bullets. He called the center of the atom the nucleus. The nucleus is tiny compared to the atom as a whole. And this is Niels Bohr, the Danish scientist who proposed an improvement. He placed each electron in a specific energy level. Electrons move in definite orbits around the nucleus. These orbits are located at certain distances from the nucleus. According to Bohr's atomic model, electrons move in definite orbits around the nucleus, much like planets circle the sun. These orbits or energy levels are located at certain distances from the nucleus. And this is Werner Heisenberg. He proposed that the position and the velocity of an object cannot be measured exactly at the same time, even in theory. Lastly, Erwin Schrödinger. Erwin Schrödinger proposed the electron cloud model. It represents a sort of history of where the electron has probably been and where it is likely to be going. Thanks to this model, electrons were no longer depicted as particles moving around a central nucleus in a fixed orbit. Hence, their locations could only be described as part of a cloud around the nucleus where the electrons are likely to be found. And so that ends the history of the atomic theory.